First of all, this is a non-grooved, it's a straight, not straight, it's a non-grooved mandrel, solid steel mandrel. And I can see the ring size numbers on this. And this, by the way, is a continuous ring manufacture, which you can do if you like. I can show you how that works. It's very simple. You just get into this rhythm and you figure out where you're going to need to be for the next one. So it's a lot more efficient to do it this way, where you cut it each time. That way you can really gauge exactly how much tail you need to leave on the ring. See? So in this case you can see quite clearly there's your equal number right there. So you want to leave an equal amount of tail on both sides, no matter what that turns out to be. And eventually, and I'm going to turn this back so I can see the numbers again. I want to get these at 5 or 6. Generally, that's the size you're going to sell the most of, and you can easily bring this up to size 8, down to size 3, without returning to the mandrel for it. So prepare yourself with a whole bunch of these things. They're fairly easy to modify for whatever you need. When the rare size 13 comes along, then that's another story. This piece here I could take all the way down to 3 and bring it all the way up to 9 with these tails right there. Don't be afraid to be a little generous. Oh God, it's you build that into your profits so that you take care of your expenses, including the things that the public doesn't see, like all of the waste that you might generate. This is as much waste as I just generated from that whole stack of stuff. That was the waste. So there shouldn't be much, but inevitably there is going to be some waste. So you have to charge your customer for your time and for the materials that you buy, regardless of whether they end up on the sales shelf or in the garbage bin. One way or the other, the customer must pay somehow enough to make it worth your while to show up at work every day. This is how, right here, this is how you generate enough rings so that even at $20 a ring, you're making $100 an hour or more. You can. Technically, I can produce one ring finished all the way through easily about every 5 minutes or so. Bring it all the way through the manufacturing process. So this is what it looks like here when you get, in my opinion, enough shanks to go to a fair. That's about, this double stack here is about right. In fact, there's one more. I'll just turn this one also at the same time. So again, I look at my numbers, and I turn this at about 5 or 6. Leave some tail on there, on both sides. Leave it even on both sides. Kind of get the feel of it. Eventually what will happen is that as you put yourself in the production line, it'll just kind of happen. The moves are there. So you need to build the moves in. Of course it'll be slow at first. Eventually you will have those moves. They'll be in. When you got those moves, that's when you'll start seeing the value of learning the moves, which is not about the product, it's about the process. So this is, that's all there is to that. But then there's another bunch of little procedures that goes along with this. Now I have this trimmed almost right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find myself enough slack that I can put this upright. Now I need to trim it because those are sharp. Those down. Pull these around. And here's where you can control this. You want to try to bring it down and shape it properly so it goes exactly where you want it to go. Like that. And really ought to be able to keep that under good control. And if you must scar the metal, scar it on the inside where the customer can't see it. That's always a good plan. As here is put a hedgehog in here. Like that. We have a little hedgehog ring, and then I'll just adjust it slightly. Now I'll take my polishing cloth. This makes all the difference. It really does. It makes a tremendous difference. Polishing up the piece. That hedgehog, don't try to get all the shininess onto it because it's not supposed to be all shiny. There is a darker part of the thing, and it actually takes extra stuff to make that dark in that spot, to antique that. So that's intentional, that it be darker in some spots, lighter in other spots. The highlights are the high spots. Good. All right. So we have a hedgehog ring. I think that's pretty nifty. The secret here is to pull this down, get behind underneath it, and pull it down and all the way down so that it goes really into place there. Then here, let's see if I can fit that in there. This will. It's interesting that'll go in there. Okay, so here we have a completed ring with whatever we want to put in there. And there are a variety of things that will fit onto this crossbar. This is one of the things that will fit. So make a crystal ring like that if you wanted to. It's a little small, but it will work. Of course, you can put a wooden bead in here. This is really fun. I think I'll demo this. Worthwhile showing. Do this little polishing ritual here. All right. Yes. There we go. All right. So this is a wooden bead and some shank material and a crossbar. And however, as a starting piece to learn from, it isn't at all bad to start with wooden beads, I think. And if I can make it cheap enough for you to do that, I think I can. That will make it easier to learn the trade. So here is a green bead. Check this out. Here's a green bead. like that. And again, we polish. That is a consideration. Here is a green ring, and you can make all kinds of colors with these wonderful wooden beads.
Can people order those wooden beads from
They
you?
can order these, yes, as ring kits. These are ring practice kits, and they are actually saleable. You actually can sell this stuff, although not for very much money. I mean, to be fair to the customer, you don't want to ask an awful lot. But the workmanship is irrespective of the materials. And the materials, the check wooden beads are beautiful to behold. They're delightful. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just they're not gemstones, is all, or emo beads or something like that. It's maybe not as sexy, perhaps. But I don't know. Maybe it is. To me, I think that's plenty sexy right there. Oh, look at this. Luscious red. These need slight adjustment. It's more than slight sometimes, in order to come into alignment with each other. Now here there's let's see. Pink.